So the next thing I can do is go back in the Blender, and I can hit plus here, and I can go into video editing right here. And now I'm in the video editor. So here I'm starting at 0. It's always going. It's already going up to frame 40. So I have 40 frames set in here already. This area that's shaded, these are the frames that aren't being used. You can see here the end is set to frame 40. So it's taking the settings from the properties panel in the object tab, where I'm setting the number of frames. It's already taking that in here. So I'll just keep this on this first frame. And then I just go to add, and then go to image sequence. Now I'm going to go to my desktop, go to animation test 1, and you can see I have my 2 folders. So I have scene 1 and scene 2. I'm going to click on scene 1, and you can see everything is named properly. So I have box 1, and it's all in order. So this is the important thing to remember. It seems like Blender, when you bring in an image sequence, it really depends on how you have the images ordered within this import window here. For example, if it started at frame 40, if I brought this in, it would be backwards. So if I brought it in and said, say, add image strip like this, when it starts, you can't really tell, but it's going the opposite way. So you can probably tell if I do this with the box. So let's say I do this with the box. I go to add, and I say image sequence, and I go to that other scene where the box is falling, scene 2. And now it's going the opposite way because I'm starting with the last frame first. And I can hit A. You hit A, it selects all the frames. And then I say add. Now when I look at this one, you see how the box is doing the opposite of what I want. That's because Blender doesn't care about, it really doesn't care about the numbers at the end. Now most editing programs, if I bring this into like Premiere or Final Cut, it doesn't have to be in order. If it sees that it says 01, then 02, it will automatically identify those numbers and put it in proper order. But Blender wants you to select everything in the correct order. So I'm gonna hit X on both of these, get rid of them. And I'm gonna go back and re-add them. So I'm gonna go back into image sequence, and then you just have to make sure that you hit name and that you start at 01. And then when you hit A and add image sequence, it will add it at the right order. So that's, you just got to pay attention to that. So it does it in order too of how you add things, because if I keep on adding new stuff here, it will go into the next slot. So I added 1 here. I go to 2. I can go to add again, go to image sequence, go into my other scene, this time scene 1, hit A, and then add it. And now I've added it to this slot on top. But each slot is basically another cut in your editing process. The only thing that you have to do now is, if you have multiple scenes or multiple image sequences added to this timeline here in the video editor, just make sure you extend your animation. So if this now goes all the way to here, so my last frame is going to be in the lower right-hand corner, so it's 70. So maybe I should end this now at 70. You can always pad it, but here I'll just end it at 70 where it ends. And so now I have, when I play this, it's starting at that scene, and then it's going to that scene. It's going fast, I know. So you can grab these now, and you can have these next to each other. And then if you select one, you can should be able to there's different things that you could do now to these little sequences. And one thing should be you can do a fade. You can like fade out. Let's say you can fade out. And when you do a fade out, actually, I'm going to do it on the first sequence. So I'm going to select this first sequence and I can go to add and I can go to fade out. And this little curve appears and I can adjust that curve. So the beginning of the curve is when it starts to fade. And then if I overlap these two like this, and what happens is I can create a transition. So now one fades into the other. So this is how you create some sort of transition. So the fade is right here. So it's just it's a way of creating transitions here in Blender. Other editing software tools, you would put the timeline between two sequences and then do it that way. So anyways, that's just adding a transition if you want to. And there's other effects you can add. I don't know all the different effects in here, but there's different things you can do if you want to play with effects and speed up things, add like glows and blurs and all sorts of stuff to this. So now that I have this, this is basically my movie and it ends now at 71. So I'm going to make sure this ends at 71. And now you go up into the different settings up here and it's the same process. You want to make sure you're set at the proper resolution. So it's 1920 by 1080. You have to pay attention to the start frame and the end frame. So, oops, I messed up. I put too many frames in here. So it should be 71. So here it should end at 71. Here, you want to create a folder for this. So you can, so what I would do here is just maybe change this animation test to maybe animation test movie. So that's going to create a new folder called animation test movie. After the slash, I will say, final underscore movie. And then the file format, you can now change this to one of these movie settings. And here I will pick this FFmpeg video. That's probably one of the best formats to pick for this. And now when I render this out, I'm going to go into render, or actually here, let's see something. Yeah, I'll just go into oops, here. Go to render and then render animation. So you saw it rendered that whole thing out. So it did it pretty quickly. So it took all those two image sequences, it combined it into a little clip. So I can see that by going into the folder that I created called animation movie. So I'm going to find that. So it was here on my desktop. So animation test movie, and there it is. And then so I just kind of play that through. It goes fast because there's not that many frames, right? So just consider how many frames you're outputting. So that's the final product. Is there any questions about this? So it's pretty straightforward. If you follow along, I'll include this video for you guys to watch. But it's a two-step process. It's you're creating your image sequence, and then you are taking those image sequences and you're bringing them back into Blender. And you're using the video editing tab in Blender to do that. And you don't necessarily have to use one of these Blender files that you started with. So if I go into new, I can actually go to new and go straight to video editing. And it takes me straight to that tab. And I can start a whole new blend file and add my sequences here. So I can go back here and just add my image sequences. I don't necessarily need to stay within a pre-existing Blender file that I'm working in. And sometimes it's a good way to do this. If you have multiple blend files, multiple scenes that you're coming from different blend files, maybe you just create a separate blend file for all of your image sequences. So if I go here, I can bring in my sequences to here and work totally separate, right? You can duplicate files too. If I hit Shift D, that's one way to like extend things. So you can kind of think about, in terms of what your scene is. Sometimes maybe you have things repeat. You can go to one of these strips and you can split them in half. You hit K, that's the knife tool. So now I split these two in half. So maybe you insert one scene in between something. This is more of a video editing process that's really outside of the world of animation. Video editing is a totally separate skill set, but you can start to really think about your scenes and how everything comes together. Think really cinematically. Try to kind of visualize like one of the most recent movies you watched and how do those scenes play out. And this is where you can really start to manipulate the animation. Maybe by doing this, you can re-edit things to convey a different meaning that was intended when you started to do the animation, or you add suspense, or you repeat things. There's a lot you can do. You could possibly go here, go to add, go to effect, strip, go to transform, and maybe you scale up something. So here I'll hit uniform. So maybe, that's small. Maybe I create my own zooms in here. You can also keyframe this stuff. So if I add a little keyframe there, and then scale it out. Let's see. I don't know if you should be able to add some keyframes in here to actually play with some of this. But you can zoom in and adjust things. So there's all sorts of little things you can do in here, which are kind of interesting and fun to play with. And I think you can also add in text. So you can give your movie a title. And so you can pick the font, and you can say whatever. You can pick a font. You can increase the size, add a little shadow. So there's other things you can do here. So if you do want to create a little title, you can add it right in here. So yeah, that's the process basically. You can bring in other types of media outside of Blender too. So when you add here, I can bring in other movies. If you want to add sound, here you can add sound. So let's see if I can find some sound. I don't know what this is. Let's see. So it seems to have it doesn't like it for some reason, but you can add sound in here if you want to. So you can do everything in here and stay within Blender. You don't need to have an outside program. What's interesting is if I zoom out a little bit in Blender, there's these bars on top, and there's information in the bars. So this won't show up in your movie clip. It's outside of the frame, but it is kind of useful to kind of see, because then you can actually see the frame number, the camera being used. This shows the scene. So this is providing some nice information here. If you ever need to see a little bit more about what's happening with that video that you're producing or that image sequence, you can utilize that, which is nice. So any questions then?
Could you go over how to create the image sequence again from the Blender files, or like from?
Yeah. So I'll do it one more time. So I'll go back.
And then I got a little confused when you were talking about like the padding, like in terms of like I think the pound numbers at the end.
Sure. Yeah, and let's see. Some other questions are, would other programs work too? Yeah, of course. Premiere, iMovie, Adobe uses Premiere, Apple has iMovie and Final Cut. There might be some other programs you want to use. I mean, some people use After Effects. All those applications work the same way. The one difference is it doesn't matter what order you select the images. If I have everything numbered properly, and then it's going to, if everything is